Okay, so back when I had TV, one of my favorite shows was Mythbusters, and I thought it'd be fun to make a fitness version of it. And I'm gonna start with a challenge. I bet that you totally believe at least 2 of the 5 myths that I'm gonna share. Challenge accepted? Okay, so here are 5 fitness myths. Number 1, masturbation decreases athletic performance. Girl, you know you've heard it, and I think this myth started with the belief, the incorrect belief, that ejaculation lowers testosterone levels. In fact, the opposite is actually true. Actually, I think that sex or masturbation can be a great way to relieve stress or blow off a little steam, which is probably why they shipped 100,000 condoms to the athletes at the Olympic Games. Hashtag true story. And you thought this video was gonna be boring. Number 2, eating before bed is bad for you. Wrong! This myth has actually been studied really extensively, and researchers have found no link between obesity rates and meal times. It's not so much about when you eat, but what you eat and how much of it you wolf down. It doesn't matter if you eat at 5 p.m. or 10 p.m. However, when it's late at night, people tend to make less healthy decisions, so you gotta mind your diet. Number 3, muscle turns to fat when you stop exercising. No sir. Muscle fibers aren't transformers that magically turn into fat cells when you stop working out. They are 2 very different things, but what usually happens is when people stop exercising, they continue to eat the same amount of calories that they have been eating, and so their muscle deteriorates, and all those extra calories that they're consuming get stored as fat. Number 4, that you can only consume 30 grams of protein at any given time. This myth is so pervasive that I totally believe that it was true. It's not. I have not been able to find a single study that's been able to prove this. In fact, there's a lot of small scale studies that show that it's totally untrue. So yeah, the body can totally process and absorb large quantities of protein, and the only wasted protein is anything above and beyond your daily protein requirement, or the protein in the tissues by my bed, next to the Vaseline container. Number 5, muscle weighs less than fat. I know you've heard this, and it's a little bit tricky, but it's totally untrue. A pound of muscle weighs the same as a pound of fat, which weighs the same as a pound of feathers. It is true to say that a pound of muscle is denser than a pound of fat, but a pound is a pound. Okay, so because that last myth was like a little bit cheap, I'm gonna give you a free for nothing bonus myth that is gonna blow your pretty little mind. From a nutritional standpoint, there is no difference between white eggs and brown eggs. Brown eggs are just more expensive because people think there's a difference, and I think it's because they think white bread versus brown bread, but the truth is that there is no nutritional difference whatsoever. My mama says that brown eggs are just white eggs that God left in the oven to cook a little bit longer, and my mama wouldn't lie. That was like weird and disturbing. So that is all for this episode of Fitness Myths Busted. I hope you enjoyed. If it is true, if my challenge was true that 2 of these myths you believe, then you need to thumbs up this video. And because the real Mythbusters usually ends with some kind of explosion, I give you this. That's so scary. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Peace out.